Hello everyone, Myzzrym here, bringing you episode 2 of Advanced Mechanism. It's going to be Brewmaster. Next episode is going to be 2.5, a focus on Dispel magic of the Storm aspect of Brewmaster's ultimate. And episode 3 will be on Morphling as asked per YouTube's users. Brewmaster, also known as Pandaren Brewmaster Mangix in Dota 1 or simply Panda, is a strength melee hero that excels in teamfights due to his very powerful ultimate. As far as stat goes, Panda is pretty much average all around the board. He starts with 300 movement speed, 23 strength, 16 agility, and 14 intelligence. As for his strength gain is 2.9, agility 1.95, and intelligence 1.25. We can see that his strength gain and agility gain is slightly above the average, while his intelligence gain is slightly under the average, but really by nothing much. Brewmaster's first skill is called Thunderclap. It is an AoE nuke centered around him that deals damage, slowing the enemy's attack speed and movement speed. It lasts 4.25 seconds on heroes and 8 seconds on creep. Leveling this ability will increase the movement and the attack speed slow, as well as increasing the damage and also the mana cost. Thunderclap does affect units you can't see, so either invisible or in the fog of war, and it's all magical components, so it won't go through BKB. His second skill, Drunken Haze, is a single target debuff that slows his enemy and gives him a chance to miss his attacks. Leveling this ability will increase the slow by 4% per level and the mischance by 10% per level. It is blocked by magic immunity, so Lincoln Sphere as well as BKB. And for those who want to know, it actually has a 10 unit radius that only appears if you use, for example, a vacuum in the same time as Drunken Haze, and everyone gets the debuff. Remember that level 4 Drunken Haze gives 75% chance of missing, which is enormous. If you're a carry and want to counter this, go for a BKB or an MKB. MKB goes through the mischance. His third skill is called Drunken Brawler. It is a passive ability that gives him a chance to dodge any attacks and deal critical damage. Remember that unlike Rewind, Drunken Brawler is actually counted as evasion, so it doesn't stack with other evasion items. Different sources of critical damage do stack, but not additively. That means if you have 25% chance and 20% chance, it doesn't give you 45% chance. As a good rule of thumb, you usually want to only have one source of critical damage. Brewmaster's ultimate, Primal Split, is one of the most interesting spells in Dota. It splits the Brewmaster into 3 different pandas, with each their own abilities. Leveling up this ability will increase the power of your pandas as well as increase their duration. It will decrease the cooldown and also increase the mana cost. Note that you can actually buy Aghanim Scepter to make them even more powerful, last even longer, and have even less cooldown. So first, let's go over each panda. The Earth Panda is a very tanky panda that is immune to spells and that can throw rocks at your enemy to stun them. He also has a minor passive ability called Pulverize, which gives him 20% chance of dealing 40 damage in a 150 AoE. The Storm Panda is a ranged unit with 3 active spells. Dispel magic that I will actually talk about in the next video, Cyclone, which throws someone in the air for up to 6 seconds, and Windwalk, which basically gives him invisibility and a bonus damage if he goes out of it. The Fire Panda is your main source of DPS in the fight. He has permanent immolation which deals damage around him, and he has a base movement speed of 522. Note that this is not haste, so that means he can still be slowed by any kind of spells. Also, keep in mind that he's very squishy. He only has 1200 HP at all levels, so that means no matter if you get level 6, 11, 16, or even Aghanim Scepter, he will still have 1200 HP. Now you're gonna tell me, yeah, Myzzrym, all of this I can already read on the panda myself, so what is there that I may not know yet? First we have to ask ourselves, what is a Brewling? A Brewling is neither a hero nor a creep, it's somewhere in the middle. It has something called resistant skin, which make it so spells that only target heroes don't work on them, for example Bounty Hunter Track, and spells that only work on creeps don't work on them either, for example Devour by Doom. And spells that have different effects on creeps and heroes, for example Frostbite by Crystal Maiden, will take effect as if they were heroes. Brewlings are also considered as ancients, so some spells may not work on them at all. In fact, the closest unit to a Brewling is actually Syllaber's Spirit Bear, and that also means that if a Brewmaster is alone and use the ultimate, if you use the smoke, they won't be able to see you, because they are not heroes, so the smoke is not dispelled. Now into more advanced information on each panda. You may realize that your Earth Panda and your Air Panda deal less damage than your Fire Panda, although the damage that is shown is actually the same. This is because the Earth Panda and the Air Panda deal piercing damage. Now, this comes actually from Dota 1, and I will not try to explain in detail, but just know that the piercing damage deals only 50% damage to the hero. So you're effectively dividing the damage by 50% before even counting the armor of the enemy. The Fire Panda is actually the only one which has hero damage, which is why he deals so much damage, because he actually deals the damage shown in the tooltip. As far as armor goes, they have heavy armor, which behaves the exact same as hero armor for hero damage, so it's only a bit of mechanical lore from Dota 1. One odd thing that we often see in competitive games is that the Brewlings are not affected by the black hole of Enigma. They can actually walk in it. But this has changed in the newest version of Dota 1 6.75. They are now affected, so it might come to Dota 2 very, very soon. When using the ultimate, the soul of Brewmaster is actually in the Earth Panda. If Earth Panda gets killed, it goes into the Air Panda, and if the Air Panda gets killed, it goes into the Fire Panda. What does that exactly mean? Well, first and foremost, when the ultimate ends, you actually appear where the Earth Panda was, and that is no matter where your other Panda were. If the Earth Panda is down, you will respawn at the Storm Panda. If the Storm Panda is down, you will respawn at the Fire Panda. If all of them die, you die. What people often do not know, though, is that the Panda which carries your soul also carries the gem, if you have one, and any kind of aura items that you may have. So that means if you have a Dream of Endurance, if you have a Vladimir offering, they will be active and also centered on the Earth Panda first, and then on the Air Panda, Fire Panda if the other two die. But that means if you have only a Fire Panda chasing an invisible unit, and you have a gem, you won't be able to see him. Now, the most interesting information that I came across when I was researching Primal Split is that your hero cannot take any damage, but he can heal while using the Primal Split. So yes, that means if, for example, Venomancer used Poison Nova on you, and you use the split, when you actually come back into the normal form, you will still have all your HP. The damage over time won't have taken any effect over Brewmaster. However, if you use, for example, Salve, and then you use the split, when you come back into the normal form, you will have 400 more HP than you started with. That means if you have a Heart of Tarrasque and you're actually low HP when you use the ultimate, there's a high chance that you actually regenerate almost half of your HP when the ultimate ends. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something from it. My next video will be on Dispel magic, which works the similar way to Diffusal Blade's Purge, or, Shadow Demon's Demonic Purge. It is actually very, very complicated as how they work on any other spells, so it will be a very, very long list of everything that is or is not dispelled by the Dispel magic, and it's actually very good to know. So, I hope you guys will be watching my next video as well, and until then, I'll see you guys.